All
Now
right,
it's
it's still
streaming
working.
live.
Are we?
That's what it says.
There we are. Okay, we are. Yay. Can I take this down? Okay. I guess we're gonna start.
Let's do
I'm just
it.
looking at us. Okay, there we go. All right. Hi, everybody. This is Shannon Gilmore. I'm here with my amazing friend, Stephanie Renee. She is a local wellness and skincare expert and owner of Awakening Spa Boutique in Leesburg. And I'm going to let Stephanie tell us about her and her business and profession.
Great. Hi, Shannon.
Hi, so good to see you.
Thank
I need a
you. Thank you.
massage.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's hurting right now. I
Yes.
mean, yeah. So I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So what do you want to tell us about your profession and what you do and where you're located?
Yeah, so like you said, I'm Stephanie Renee, and I'm the owner of Awakening Spa Boutique located in downtown Leesburg, right across the street from the courthouse. And I've been at that location for about almost 5 years now. And yeah, so my mission is to assist individuals in their personal journey for healing. We give a holistic approach to stress management, pain relief, and radiant, beautiful skin. We feel like that it comes from the inside, and we help you work on whatever you need to work on. So we meet you on your path for healing wherever you are. So if it's touch, if it's, your skin, if it is relaxation, everything's connected. The mind, the body, everything is connected. So we try to help you feel comfortable in your skin, to be fully present in your life, so that you can radiate the best version of yourself out into the world.
Okay, that's fantastic. I know I am a customer, so I benefit in all of those ways. I was
Your
kind of
skin
thinking,
looks great.
oh, thanks. I really need a facial and a massage. And my hair is getting longer and longer and grayer and grayer. So I know that we've all of those things are things that we can't have right now, and it's really hard to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So how have you been impacted during this time?
It's been hard. And the first couple of weeks were really difficult for me personally. My whole world revolves around touch. I mean, that's why I'm in this business. Just because touch is so important for all of us as human beings. And now that we're being forced to stay away from each other, some of us have families that we can interact with, but some of us are alone in our homes. And I live with some family, but I'm technically alone. And for me, it's been difficult. I mean, it's like a withdrawal. And so I had to give myself a little bit of time to take that in, to internalize what was happening, and allow myself to go through a little bit of a grieving process before I could come back around and start to address how I felt. So, for me, it meant to start picking up the phone, calling friends, talking to people online, and, starting to interact in that way. And then to just be kind to myself and allow myself to have these feelings about what was happening. I probably, like most people, was surprised about my reaction emotionally to what was happening, and sort of in denial that we were actually going to be locked down like this for any period of time, much less even just a week or two. But look, it's already been a month. More. So for me, I had to give myself the time to process it and then move into a space of self-care.
And what does that look like for you for self-care?
So for me, it means that I pay attention to myself. I've been looking at Facebook. I mean, Facebook has been a big thing right now. This is how we're staying connected to our friends and our family and people that we can't see. It's almost like we do see them. And I came to realize that there were a lot of friends that I really didn't see that much because I see them on Facebook. So for me, I had to remember that I did have a routine. When I realized that my routine got messed up, I wasn't going to work anymore. I didn't have to be anywhere at a certain time. I would come to the end of the day and realize I hadn't cleansed my face. Maybe I didn't comb my hair, maybe I didn't get out and walk the dog. The dog was getting used to getting walked every morning before I went to work. But then all of a sudden I went through the grieving process and I stopped doing a lot of the things that I would normally do for myself. So now I make it I make it a priority to get up. When I get up in the morning, I'm going to cleanse my face. I'm going to exfoliate. I'm going to put moisturizer on it. And if I'm going outside that day, which I need to at least once a day, I'm going to put sunscreen on. And I'm going to do these things because this is part of my self-care. And I always knew that about myself before. But when my schedule got disrupted, I stopped doing it for, a short period of time. And as far as massage is concerned, it's really hard to do what others can do for you as far as massage is concerned. However, you do want to give yourself some time. If it's just 30 minutes, if it's just 20 minutes or 10 minutes, just a little bit of quiet time to center your mind, to get back in your body. I know a lot of people have kids at home and they're going crazy with that stuff. It's easy for me to say, but if you can just give yourself 20 minutes to center, to be centered, just to be kind to yourself, say, give yourself the affirmations that you usually get out there in the world. I know for myself, my clients tell me how wonderful I am, how great I am, what a great job, what a great business, how great I look, the things that I do for myself, I'm always getting complimented and reassured and reaffirmed. And now that I'm not with my people, I'm not hearing it. So
where are you going to get that? Right.
I have to get it from myself.
Yeah.
So I got to come back around to myself. And I think that that's this is really what this is all about. And many of us are coming to this awareness that this is about getting centered within ourselves again.
Right.
And to recognize, I know for me, I recognize that I have been reaching outside of myself more than I probably should have to get what I needed, to get my soul fed, to get my heart fed, more outside of myself than ever before.
Now feeding yourself.
Now I'm in a place where I have to do it or I'm going to starve. Right. So I have to find that space. I have to connect with the universe, with whatever it is that you believe in, that I believe in, that's out there, that we're a part of. That's what I connect with in order to feed my soul and to keep me centered and to keep me moving on, because this is difficult. This is hard. I mean, I was in a place where I was like, oh yeah, life is great and I can deal with anything that comes down the road. Well, guess what? It came down the road.
Right. None of us were ready.
And, this is where the rubber meets the road, man. This is how we find out what our character really is. And I had to do some evaluation for myself in regard to the strength of my own character. And, someone close to me even kind of gave me a wake-up call and said, hey, there are people that have it a lot worse than you do. And here in America, most of us can say that. There are some that are really having it tougher than others. And even here in America, there's some really bad situations. Third world countries, other countries outside of the United States, they're having it a lot worse. So anyway, we can always tell ourselves these things and maybe even do a gratitude list. Man, that's so important, because when I can think about the things that I'm grateful for, it brings me back into a place of centeredness. And I kind of I did go through a phase where I was like, it was hard for me to do that. I really wanted to kind of feel sorry for myself. And so anyway, the point is that it is a process, and we have to give ourselves permission to have that process and feel the feelings. And that's how we're going to get to the other side. You got to walk through it and come out on the other side with more character, more courage, and more strength than we had when we started. I thought that I had more than what I really have. But when this is all over, that's going to be real.
That's Right. Well, I don't remember who I was listening to this morning. For me, I've been trying to meditate and take some of that time and do some creative things, and definitely physical. The weather's been a challenge.
Yeah.
But I heard somebody this morning say you can choose hope or you can choose despair. And so,
Yeah.
it's like I have my moments where I
Yeah.
definitely am choosing despair, but I'm trying to focus more on hope and moving forward. And,
Yeah.
like you say, connecting with people, even though we can't. It's the one thing that surprised me is a couple of my friends have said how much they crave a hug, and it's like, oh yeah, and I'm noticing on TV, like, oh, look at those people, they're hugging, they're
They're hugging.
embracing.
I
Remember
remember
when we
that.
could do that? So speaking
Right.
of touch, what do you think? I know we're supposed to get some information maybe the second week of May, first week of
Yeah.
May about
Yeah.
opening. We don't know yet. We're still under this stay at home until June 10th. What do you see happening in your business, possibly if you get to do a soft opening or?
Yeah, so I'm considering that plan now and thinking about what kind of precautions will I take. So what I've started with is, first of all, it's going to be a smaller version of Awakenings to start. It may stay
Right.
smaller, I don't know, but we're going to start off smaller. So we're going to keep the traffic minimized coming into the spa. We're going to have to clean before and after everybody's there, sanitize, use masks, use gloves when it's appropriate.
Right. Just at a
And,
different level, because obviously you already do
we
that.
are already clean and we're doing these things, but we didn't use gloves. We didn't wear masks. I
Right.
didn't necessarily wipe down the front counter every time somebody came in and out, but
Right.
we're going to do that, so
Yes.
that we can present the safest environment as possible. Be able to move forward in that way. And I know that it's still going to take time for people to feel comfortable enough to be back out there and being touched by other people at this point. I mean, I think that we're creating a new normal, and where we would casually, without thinking about it, touch other people. We're all going to be thinking about it now.
Yeah.
So, hand sanitizers are available, everything will be available and be sanitized regularly. But because we will be doing that, traffic is going to be minimized.
Yeah.
There
So you'll
will only
space
be
your
myself.
appointment.
Yeah, myself and maybe one or two other people working, whereas before we had 5 and 6 and myself working.
Okay.
So it's going to be on a smaller scale to start, to try to minimize the exposure. And I also have a temperature gun. So I will be testing ourselves that are working there and our clients that come in, at least checking for, the fever. We can do that. And we may be talking about previous travel plans, but, probably nobody's been traveling in the last month.
Right.
Whether that's practical or not, I don't know yet. I think that we will also get some instructions in regard to our business, in particular, salons, nail salons, how we are to approach an opening, and just really what do we need to do? Do we need to have face shields like they use, that dental hygienists use when we do facials and things like that? But, everything's going to be thoroughly cleansed and sterilized before we open again. And then we're just going to try to keep doing that every day as folks start coming in. In the meantime, eventually back, probably by the end of summer, we're going to be more back to the scale of what we used to be. And in that time, we are still selling gift certificates online.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if somebody, is hearing this and they want to get a facial or schedule a massage, or not schedule, but want to plan on it, how would they get in contact with you?
Sure. So gift certificates are available at awakeningspaboutique.com. You can purchase a gift certificate for a specific service or for a dollar amount. So if you're buying one and you don't really know what you're going to want when the time comes, you spend $100, you spend $200, and then you can choose whatever you like. On the other hand, if you choose something and then you decide you want something else, you can use your gift certificate like cash. and
Okay.
we can make that adjustment and provide the service that matches the dollar amount that you purchased.
And do you have a Facebook page for your business?
We do. It's Awakening Spa Boutique on Facebook. And there's interaction there. I can be reached through the messenger on the Facebook page for Awakenings. And I can answer any further questions that anyone might have.
And wait, a little side note. Don't you also marry people?
Oh, I do. Yeah, so that's a surprising thing that most people don't know about me is that I am a civil celebrant. And yes, I have been marrying people with the proper social distancing. If individuals are trying to get married during this time, the courthouse is scheduling appointments to get a marriage license. And then I have met with couples with the proper social distancing, except to reach to get the paperwork. We do their little ceremony, some right there on the courthouse steps, and then I mail the documents back to the court. So it can still be done. Some folks are doing that now because it's when they originally planned it, and they're going to have their wedding ceremony later on in the year. So yeah.
Well, I'm sure anybody watching this would want
married.
you.
Yeah, so you can reach me, through Messenger on Facebook too, and I'll be happy to help you out. I've done a virtual ceremony as well. I had the document sent to me and was able to speak with the couple virtually. So
very cool.
So yeah, I mean, we can get around this stuff, people.
Yes.
We can manage to do the things that we love, still connect with each other. I think it's most important right now that we take care of ourselves. Give yourself a break, allow yourself to have the feelings. And that's really the only way we can process this, because if we avoid it, we don't feel the feelings, they're going to come back. They're going to come back in another form. They're going to come back bigger. They're going to come back, on other people. And, stored resentment is dangerous.
Yeah, toxic.
And, it's toxic. So let's just process that stuff. And if you need to call a friend to do it, do that. The other thing I wanted to mention is that I noticed, and I don't know if people are really doing this or not, but I noticed there's a lot of stuff about drinking online on Facebook, day drinking and all this stuff. There's nothing wrong with drinking, but just remember what that does to your body.
And your skin.
Your skin, it's dehydrating. It makes you not motivated. It's depressing. I mean, alcohol is
a depressant. Yeah.
And, at first it feels good, but then it will begin to depress the system. And then you'll wonder why you're not motivated to do things. So, I mean, it's not a sermon, just,
right. No, it's a good time. To choose health and hope.
And for your skin, seriously, and for your body, drink lots of water. And even like decaffeinated tea or decaffeinated coffee, these kinds of things, or eat food that contain water, like cucumbers. Some fruit is beginning to get really good in the market right now. When you're able to go, get cantaloupe and watermelon. Well, watermelon's not in season yet, but just think about the foods that are high content in water. And that's another way to hydrate yourself. I used to tell people you can eat your water. Doesn't have to be 8 boring glasses a day,
Right.
You can find other ways to hydrate your body. And just remember, put the moisturizer on your skin, cleanse your face at night. These are rituals that we do for ourselves, that are caring for ourselves, that we may have taken for granted in the past. I know for myself, I took it for granted. And I started to see my skin was starting to change a little bit. Looking tired, looking dry. I could even feel the difference in my skin. So, I got back on it, did some exfoliating, and moisturizing my skin. So, that will help us to process what's happening too.
Great. Well, thank you. It's so good to see you.
Thank you, Shannon. It's good to see you too.
If you're listening or watching this on a playback, please leave a comment. We will look at the comments, and if you have questions, we'll respond. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Stay well.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.